Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball here at the Crisler Center on a Sunday for the Michigan Wolverines game, a Sunday matinee, if you will, against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. My name is Nick Hornberg. Alongside me, Stevie McGregor. Amir Bektis will join us later on in the broadcast for the second half. Stevie, big win in the midweek for this team against Syracuse, now hoping to avoid a letdown against a Horizon League team in Oakland University.
Should be a win. Let's see if they can get it done, though.
And the starting lineups for Michigan, a surprise to nobody. It's the same starting lineup that they have trotted out every game this season. Amy Dilk, Kenray Johnson, the backcourt with a big front court. Haley Brown, Kayla Robbins, and Naz Hillman. As we look ready to get started here, the opening faceoff is going to be Kayla Robbins against number 34, Chloe Gingrich. Gingrich standing only 5'11", giving a couple inches to the 6'1", Kayla Robbins. And the opening tip-off is won by Robbins, and we are underway. Amy Dilk takes the rebound from the tip. Dilk on the left gives it to Kenray Johnson at the left corner. Tries to play a ball over the top to Hillman, but completely misses, and Michigan first turnover on the first possession.
Michigan's going to have to eliminate those sloppy turnovers from their game. That really hurt them against Notre Dame. They had nearly 30, and that was the reason they lost. If they can eliminate those turnovers, it should be an easy win. And
Breedy plays the ball in over the top to Gingrich, and that rattles around the rim before finally falling, as Oakland taking a play from Michigan's book to score the first points of the game. Robbins at the corner, over the top, cross court to Kenray Johnson. Now gives it to Hillman at the top of the key to Robbins on the left. Robbins moves to the middle, now gives it to Dilk at the top of the key. Kenray Johnson on the right wing is going to move to the baseline. Johnson wants to go up and does, but she falls just short and rebounded by Beatty. Now Oakland trying to push the tempo. Jaleisha Terry cuts all the way through to the baseline, ultimately ends up on the left wing, moves to the middle off the screen from Lukenbach. And Terry to Gingrich. Now it's Breedy. Breedy to Gingrich. Gingrich is going to pull up from 10 feet. That's not going to go. Rebounded by Dilk.
Oakland's been using that pick and roll early. Let's see if Michigan can do something to stop it.
Robbins cross court to Johnson. Now Brown. Brown tries to play it into Hillman. Has it stolen, but Kayla Robbins wins it back, and Robbins is going to go up for the layup, and that's going to go.
Nice contested layup right there.
And Breedy now running the offense. Michelle Sedor over at the scorer's table for Michigan. Breedy to Gingrich, and now it's Jaleisha Terry. Terry moves to her left. Terry, cross court, almost has it stolen by Robbins. Breedy, and now for three is good, and that is Brianne Beatty. And it's 5-2 Oakland.
Michigan a bit unlucky to not get a steal on that possession. That was very, very close.
Robbins to Brown to Kenray Johnson on the right wing. Dilk at the top of the key. Dilk moves in before moving back out beyond the free throw line, guarded by Lukenbach. And off a screen from Hillman, she's going to move left. Dilk gets to Hillman at the top of the key. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Kenray Johnson for a long three, and that's good. Michigan answers.
Let's see if Michigan can get it going down low, because they have not really been able to get the ball into the paint against the Grizzlies so far, which has been their bread and butter for this entire season.
Breedy to Lukenbach, all the way out to Jaleisha Terry. Terry thought about pulling up for three, but ultimately moves back out a little bit outside. Now plays it in, stolen by Kenray Johnson. Michigan now has an opportunity to push the tempo. Johnson is going to hold back, though, to Kayla Robbins. Ball inside to Hillman. Hillman goes into the post and is called for a travel.
Then, again, Michigan's got to watch those sloppy turnovers. Unfortunately, they waste too many possessions with just mental lapses.
And Gingrich went down, even had the travel not been called. There's a chance there they call the charge. And Breedy, sophomore from Ajax, Ontario, gives it to Gingrich on the right wing. Gingrich now to Breedy, all the way across to Beatty. Breedy's going to move into the key before playing it back to Breedy. Breedy's going to pull up from about 10 feet, and that's going to go as the Golden Grizzlies on the front foot so far in this game. And Danielle Rauch enters the game for the first time, and a bit of a sloppy play there. Haley Brown almost gave it away cheaply, but it's recovered by Sedor. Sedor at the top of the key, now to Rauch.
Oakland's done a nice job of pressing the tempo and really pushing Michigan back on their heels.
Brown drives and cannot get it to go, but Kenray Johnson fighting for it is going to force the jump ball. It's Oakland's possession.
It's a good play from Kenray Johnson right there. That's the hustle that Michigan needs, though.
And brief pause while the floor is wiped down. And Lukenbach gives it to Breedy. Breedy goes left initially, now moves back to the top of the key. Breedy plays it in to Gingrich. Gingrich goes up and blocked by a Kenray Johnson.
Kenray Johnson making two phenomenal plays on both ends of the floor. That was a great rotation for McHenry. She moved down low to block the shot.
And bit of a mess in front of the inbound pass, ultimately able to be gotten off in the drive, and the no good by the offensive rebound by Lukenbach. Looked like that was Kalijah Dean who had the layup, but ultimately not to fall, but good put away by Lukenbach. It's 9-5 Oakland now, 5:50 left in the first quarter. Hillman over the top to Brown. Haley Brown underneath, cannot get the layup to go, but she is fouled. She will shoot too.
That's what Michigan needs to do more of. Get the ball down low to Hillman and Brown and let them work, because Oakland doesn't really have the same size that Michigan has. I feel like that's a significant advantage. They have a significant advantage down low.
Haley Brown takes her first free throw, and that's good. And it's now 9-6 in favor of Oakland. If Brown makes the second one, it's 9-7.
Yeah, free throw shooting has been a problem for Michigan so far this season.
Not for Brown today, at least to start, as the score is 9-7. Neither free throw hit the rim even, and the inbound pass played to Breedy. Breedy, guarded by her counterpart wearing number 24, Michelle Sedor. Gives it to Gingrich on the right. Now it's back to Breedy at the top. Breedy going to move left away from the screener. Breedy's going to pull up off the backboard, and that's in. Oakland making shots early.
Not how you want it to go in, but you'll take it. Bank was open on that one.
Kenray Johnson on the left wing. Johnson now going to cut to the baseline. Johnson goes up, and that one isn't going to go. And it's rebounded by Alana Blackwell. Now Oakland's turn to push the tempo. Gingrich tries to play it over to Autumn Kissman, but over the top of their 6'3" center. And that's going to go out of bounds. And Amy Dilk re-enters the game for Michigan. Couple substitutions as Isabel Verajao makes her first appearance of the game. 11-7 Oakland. Now Danielle Rauch looks to run the offense, and is going to give it to Kayla Robbins on the right wing. Robbins to Hillman at the top of the key. Hillman over the top to Verajao. Well done, and Verajao can't get it to go, but picks up her own miss and puts it away.
Very nice getting the ball down low, using that size advantage, and just really just dominating.
And Kissman's play inside works that time. It's 13-9. Oakland not letting Michigan get back to even or on top, and now Robbins all the way across court to Rauch. Rauch is going to drive and plays underneath to Naz Hillman. And another miss inside, but another offensive rebound put away, and the foul. Hillman's going to have an opportunity to complete a three-point play, as the basket's hard to find early on underneath for Michigan.
Yes, Oakland's done a very nice job of controlling the tempo of this game, pushing the pace when they need to. But Michigan stayed in it and really starting to use their size down low, and I feel like that'll dictate this game, as they'll be able to get more into the game and control the tempo a bit more.
And we've arrived at the under 5 timeout. 4:30 left in the first quarter. Oakland up 13-11, but Naz Hillman an opportunity to cut the deficit to 1. Oakland already committed 2 fouls, the first of which Haley Brown made both her free throws. The second one, Naz Hillman now has an opportunity to make hers. But really the story so far is that Michigan has lived all season in the low post, but Verajao, Brown, and Hillman all really struggling down low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Oakland so far has just been making their shots. They've just been able to get open looks, good looks, and Michigan really hasn't done a lot to stop them. And that's part of the reason that they haven't been able to get going offensively, because they haven't been able to get out in transition and start running.
And timeout still going on. Oakland, to put some numbers to what you're saying, Stevie. Oakland has shot 6 for 9, 66.7% here so far in the first quarter. Michigan only shooting 4 for 9, 44.4%. As the Golden Grizzlies making shots early. Brianna Breedy, the 5'5" point guard, 2 for 2 already today for 4 points. And Oakland's players have retaken the floor as Michigan taking a little extra time. Kim Barnes-Arico before giving her last few sentences of instructions before the head referee has come along and told her to hurry up in no uncertain terms.
Yeah, probably a bit upset in the way that Michigan's come out defensively so far. As Oakland's made 5 out of their last 7, and as you were saying, 67% of their field goals, and that's just not going to cut it, even against somewhat of a lesser school like Oakland.
And Coach Arico still giving some instructions to Amy Dilk, and Hillman's free throw is good, completes the 3-point play, bounces off the front of the rim and in. And now Michigan's press is on, and it's played over the top and stolen by Robbins. And Kayla Robbins gives it to Dilk. Dilk is going to drive straight to the hoop, and that's not going to go.
I really like that, coming out of the timeout, changing it up a bit. They haven't been able to get it going defensively, and Oakland just kind of had their way. Very nice full court press.
And Kisman holds the ball, and there's a stoppage of play. I think they're going to call a foul on the floor on Amy Dilk. Correction, it's on Verajao. And Oakland's going to have an opportunity to reset. Dean to Lukenbach. Lukenbach passed too high for Alana Blackwell. And now Oakland turns the ball over, and Michigan will have an opportunity. That full court press arguably won them the game on Thursday night against Syracuse.
Yes, it's been very nice for them to their set defense hasn't been the best, but when they get that full court press going, they've really been able to wreak havoc, cause a bunch of turnovers, and it's been very good to them.
Verajao gives it to Dilk at the free throw line. Dilk is going to play it out to Robbins. Robbins thought about shooting, now plays it cross court to Dilk. Dilk to Hillman at the free throw line. Hillman's going to pull up from the free throw line. That's not going to go, but Hillman picks up her own rebound and puts it away. As Naz Hillman asserting herself on the offensive glass early, Michigan has their first lead of the game, 14-13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Hillman's starting to get going. She's picked up her second offensive rebound. Another putback. Oh.
And Terry has it stolen by Robbins. Robbins is going to be all alone, and she's going to go up and put that away. It's 16-13.
Michigan looking much better on the defensive end of the floor. Coming out of that timeout, they forced 3 turnovers on 3 straight possessions.
And Jeff Tungate, in his 7th season, calls timeout. 3:15 left in the first quarter. Michigan on a 7-0 run. The score now 16-13. Tungate has said in his 7th season in Oakland, but last year could have gone a little bit better. 6-24 for the Golden Grizzlies, including a 20-point loss at home to Michigan at the Arena in Rochester Hills last December.
Mm-hmm. But they've picked it up so far this year, 4-3, and they've coming out of the gate here. They've looked pretty impressive. Been able to make shots, and unfortunately fortunately for Michigan, been a little sloppy with the ball. But if they can clean that up, then Michigan might be in for a fight.
And short timeout. Looks like both sets of teams are set out there, and Oakland's going to play it in. Brianna Breedy moving to the right as she crosses the half court. Now Breedy gives it to Cromwell, who gives it to Blackwell, back to Cromwell, and Cromwell goes for the high floater, but that's not going to go, but put away by Autumn Kisman on the offensive rebound.
A little bit of a defensive miscommunication on that screen, but very nice rotation to force that miss.
Robbins Back to Verajao at the top of the key. To Rauch in the corner. Rauch for three. That's not going to go. Air balls, but rebounded by Kayla Robbins. Robbins goes up. That one isn't going to go either. That's going to go out of bounds. Oakland ball off Isabel Verajao.
Yeah, Michigan's going to continue to dominate the offensive boards. They just have a big size advantage down low. As Oakland's tallest player is only 6'3".
As long cross-court pass to Dean. Kalijah Dean for three, and that's good. Oakland's back on top 18-16, and Michigan playing quick. Dilk to Rauch. Almost has it stolen. Oakland's defense exposed. Hillman's going to go up with the scoop, and another opportunity for three-point play for Naz Hillman.
Very nice job there, getting it down low to Hillman very quickly before Oakland could get their defense set. Bit of a risky pass, but, it all worked out in the end.
The long pass to Rauch sent Kalijah Dean into the Oakland bench, essentially took her out of the play, and Rauch played the inbound pass to Hillman. Now Hillman, her second three-point play cannot go, and it's rebounded by Autumn Kissman. That one rimmed out. It's 18 all with 2:10 left in the first quarter, and Brianna Breedy loses control of the ball for a second, then resets. Breedy to Blackwell, plays it over the top to Gingrich, who can't get it to go, and the fight for the rebound is out of bounds. It will be Oakland possession.
That was a very nice rotation by Verajao there. She really played an impact on that missed shot.
And Brianne Beatty checks into the game as Breedy's going to give the inbound, going to play it out to Dean. Kalijah Dean is going to cut to the baseline, being forced back by Robbins. Almost steps out of bounds, has it stolen by Dilk. Amy Dilk is going to take it all the way to the hoop herself, and that's going to go 20-18 now the score, Michigan's lead.
Michigan's got it going defensively a bit more, forcing now 7 Oakland turnovers.
Breedy gives it off to Beatty. Breedy back to Beatty. And underneath. And Breedy for three. That's going to hit off the back of the rim. And bit of a mess of things to get the rebound, but Naz Hillman ultimately comes away with it. Now Amy Dilk going to move to the right wing. Dilk cross court to Johnson, who's back in the game. Now Hillman up top, back to Robbins on the right wing. Robbins gives it to Dilk. Dilk will move back to the middle before settling on the right. Robbins pulls up for a three from the corner. That's not going to go. But Kenray Johnson, another offensive rebound, gets it out to Hillman. And Dilk, back to Dilk as Michigan's offense is going to reset completely.
The offensive rebounds have been a big factor for Michigan so far. They've already collected 5 of them.
Shot clock at 5. Amy Dilk at the free throw line. Dilk gives it to Brown. Brown for three is no good, but another offensive rebound. Naz Hillman.
Hillman really fighting down low. That's her 3rd offensive rebound already.
Dilk now to Robbins. Hillman.
Ooh.
Hillman, the pass, nobody home, but Dilk able to recover. Now Dilk is going to split 2 defenders, gets it over the top to Hillman. Hillman goes up, and Naz Hillman up to 9 points now. Michigan a 4-point lead, 22-18. The shot clock is off, and Brianna Breedy gives it to Kalijah Dean. 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Now it's 3 seconds. Breedy is going to pull up for a long three. That's going to go as Brianna Breedy beats the buzzer, and before the second quarter starts, Oakland cuts the deficit to 1. Michigan's going to go into the second quarter with a slim lead of 22-21.
And Oakland the story of this game is that Oakland is just continuing to make shots. They're shooting 60% on field goals and 75% from 3. Michigan has forced turnovers and really benefited off those turnovers with 10 points off those turnovers. But we'll see if Michigan can slow down this Oakland offense in the second quarter.
Michigan forced 7 turnovers in the first period. Surprisingly, they have been out-rebounded by the Golden Grizzlies 10-8. But that is a bit of a surprise considering Michigan has 6 offensive rebounds, 3 of which are from Naz Hillman.
Yeah, it's been a poor job rebounding defensively, as Oakland has actually out-rebounded us on the defensive end, 4-2. because they're making so many shots, unfortunately. But I guess we'll see if Michigan can clear the boards and stop giving up extra possessions in the second quarter.
Oakland shooting 9 for 15 from the field, 60%. On the other side, Michigan shooting only 45%, 9 for 20. Oakland is also 3 for 4 from beyond the arc, as the Golden Grizzlies really had a great, as you've said, as we've reiterated many times, the Golden Grizzlies really played a great first quarter offensively, but at the end of the quarter, Michigan was really finding good fortune underneath, as they have against pretty much every team on their schedule.
Yeah, Michigan needs to. I think Michigan needs to slow the game down a little bit. It's at times they've gotten a little bit overly aggressive in pushing the tempo, and that's led them to a few turnovers. And I think if Michigan could slow the game down and get it down low to Naz Hillman and Verjao and continue to use that size advantage, they're going to continue. They're going to start to pull away.
And the second quarter set to begin as both sets of players walking out onto the floor, and Haley Brown is going to deliver the inbound to Amy Dilk. And we are underway in the second quarter with Michigan a 22-21 lead. Dilk to Robbins. Robbins at the free throw line is going to move straight to the hoop, and that's going to go down 24-21.
Very nice move, facing up the defense there and just beating her off the dribble.
And now Gingrich, stolen by Johnson. Johnson's going to drive against Gingrich, and Johnson's going to go up and has it rejected, but that's going to go out of bounds, and Michigan's going to maintain possession.
Very nice defensive play there from Johnson, but then very good recovery from Gingrich to force the block shot, or to block the shot.
And Amy Dilk is going to take the inbound as Michigan moves across and gets it into Brown. Haley Brown's going to move to the middle, gives it to Kayla Robbins. Robbins now gives it to Johnson. Johnson to Dilk at the top of the key. Dilk moves to the free throw line, back out to Johnson. And Johnson's going to drive to the hoop, and she's going to draw the foul and the layup. And another three-point play opportunity for Michigan.
Michigan continues to have success driving down the lane and trying to get to the basket, as they've now shot, they've now shot 48%, so they're picking it up a little bit offensively.
Kenray Johnson, an opportunity to extend Michigan's lead to 6. And it is not good. Rebounded by Gingrich. That one in and out. Still 26-21. As Breedy moves off to the right wing. Kissman is going to set a screen. A bit of a clumsy screen. Breedy gets it off to Blackwell. Blackwell goes to the baseline. Blackwell goes up. That's going to hit off the front of the rim and is rebounded by Johnson. Now Michigan trying to play tempo. Amy Dilk looks to drive straight to the baseline, but ultimately forced back. Hillman at the top of the key. Now gives it to Robbins on the right wing. Robbins looking for a pass, plays it underneath to Dilk. Dilk is going to go to the baseline. Dilk is going to go up. That one's not going to go, but another offensive rebound for Hillman, her 4th. And Robbins to Johnson. Johnson has space, and the running floater is no good, but Johnson picks up her own rebound for a second before it's stolen by Kissman. And a Kenray Johnson on the floor. She's hurt as Oakland is playing on. Gingrich is going to pull up. That one is going to go. And a Kenray Johnson, a little gimpy, looks like she's going to go over to the bench.
It was a very nice Euro step from McHenry Johnson. Just could not finish it, and unfortunately, looks like she hurt herself on the play.
Johnson over on the end of the bench in a lot of pain. Michelle Sedor is going to come in as Oakland cuts the deficit to 3, taking advantage of the numbers advantage. As Amy Dilk moves into the half court, gives it to Naz Hillman. Hillman wants to give it back to Dilk, but good defense by Alana Blackwell. Now is able to get it to Dilk. Dilk is trapped by Kissman and Blackwell, gives it to Robbins. Robbins from the top of the key. I think that may have technically been a 3, but it didn't go either way. And the rebound by Terry. Terry forced back, denied, fast break denied by Michelle Sedor. Kissman now to Blackwell. Over the top to Kissman, stolen by Kayla Robbins.
Very nice rotation there by Robbins to come and pick off that dump-off pass. Kind of a sloppy pass, but works out in the end as Amy Dilk picks up possession.
Dilk to Robbins on the right wing. Robbins is going to go to the baseline. Robbins under the hoop, gets it back to Cedar. Cedar pulls up for three. That one's not going to go. Rebounded by Blackwell. Gives it to Breedy. Emily Kaiser at the scorer's table looking for her first appearance of the game. Kenray Johnson still getting treatment on the bench. Breedy has the pass tipped out of bounds by Cedar, and substitutions are going to happen. Haley Brown's going to go to the bench. Emily Kaiser making her first appearance. Lukenbach re-enters the game for the Golden Grizzlies.
Michigan has really picked it up defensively. They've had active hands everywhere on the floor, deflecting a lot of passes. It's been very different from the first couple minutes of the game.
Jalisha Terry drives in. Another pass tipped away, and that one's going to roll out of bounds for Michigan possession. Looked like Michigan had the steal, but ultimately Oakland salvaged it, tried to throw it back, but ultimately threw a couple pairs of legs and rolled out of bounds. Kaiser plays the inbound to Dilk. Still the score 26-23. Dilk gives it to Robbins at the top of the key. Now to Dilk. Dilk gets trapped. Hillman wide open. Dilk plays it over the top, and Hillman puts it away. Naz Hillman now in double digits.
That ended a 2-minute-long scoring drought for the Wolverines as they finally get back on the board.
And Kenray Johnson, no longer receiving treatment on the bench, might be able to go back into the game. Jalisha Terry for three. That's good, and it's 28-26. Oakland chipping away as Cedar at the corner.
Yeah, Michigan's been doing pretty well offensively, but Oakland's continued to knock down shots and keep it close.
Cedar drives to the baseline. Cedor's going to go up, and Michelle Cedar, the freshman from New Jersey, has her first points. Maddie Nolan at the scorer's table to come in for the first time for Michigan. Breedy to Gingrich. Now back to Breedy. Breedy tries to play one over the top to Gingrich. Kaiser goes down and draws the charge.
Again, very good rotation by Michigan. Defensively, this looks like a completely different team from the first five or so minutes.
Kaiser going to play the inbound to Dilk, and Maddie Nolan has entered the game. Cedar goes to the bench. Now Dilk trying to lose Kalijah Dean, but the Golden Grizzlies guard keeping pace, and Kayla Robbins is called for a travel. Michigan giving the ball away cheaply yet again.
The referee hits an Oakland player with the ball.
A little bit of confusion there as to who the ball should go to. And Lukenbach is going to play it into Jalisha Terry. Terry is going to move to the right in the half court. Gives it to Kalijah Dean. Dean tries to play it over the top, and another steal. This time it's Maddie Nolan, but there's still a fight for the ball. Amy Dilk is going to come away with it. And Isabel Varejao has entered the game now. Dilk to Robbins to Nolan. Nolan to Dilk. Underneath to Kaiser. Back to Nolan. Nolan thought about shooting a three. Ultimately is going to drive to the free throw line. Gets it to Kaiser. Kaiser to Robbins at the top of the key. Robbins moves to the right. Now gets it back out to Dilk. Shot clock at 10. Dilk to Nolan. Nolan over the top to Varejao. And a side pass out to Robbins at the corner. Robbins going to drive to the line, and that's going to go in.
Very nice offensive possession there from Michigan. Playing patiently, taking their time, and waiting for that good shot.
Now Terry to Kissman, the long three, and Varejao, the defensive rebound. And Amy Dilk's going to take it. Varejao looks a little bit hobbled. No, she's okay. Dilk tries to play a quick pass over the top to Kaiser, but another one is too high as we are at the under 5 timeout. 4:35 left in the first half. Michigan has a lead over Oakland, 32-26.
And Michigan's stuck to their game plan of getting it down low, and it started working. And they've started to really limit Oakland. Oakland's still shooting 61% and 80% from three, which is just ludicrous. You have to expect for them to cool off eventually. But Michigan has now forced 12 turnovers, so they've really picked it up on the defensive end. They've also limited the offensive rebounds to 0 in the second quarter, which has been a huge help, not giving Oakland those extra possessions.
And Michigan's bench getting a lot of time in this second quarter, with a Kenray Johnson not having reappeared on the floor since picking up an injury on a fast break opportunity. And Emily Kaiser and Maddie Nolan making their first appearances of the game in this quarter. And the timeout still going.
Michigan so far has not shot the ball well from 3, 1 for 6. And that's because they've just been kind of dominating down low, using their size advantage. Naz Hillman with 11 points and 4 offensive rebounds, really just kind of dictating the how this game's going to go.
And take a moment to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball here at the Crisler Center, as both teams taking all of the time available to them. What we've seen so far in this game is that Oakland has come out early, and it looks like that's going to happen again, as Michigan taking a little bit of extra time, as the Golden Grizzlies making their way back out on the floor, and the buzzer sounds, meaning hypothetically the timeout is over, but Michigan doesn't look bothered at all, as now they're wrapping it up. The Golden Grizzlies back out on the floor.
And Michigan likes to take their sweet time getting back on the floor.
And right on cue, a Kenray Johnson returns to the game. She's the only starter in as of current, out there with Nolan, Rauch, Kaiser, and Verajao. Breedy in the half court for Oakland. Gives it to Kissman. Now Terry. Terry is fouled by Maddie Nolan. And that is Michigan's first foul of the second quarter.
Yeah, Michigan, I think that's Michigan's first, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually, oh no, that's not Michigan's first foul of the game. I am mistaken.
It's their second.
Second foul of the game, though.
And Kalijah Dean gives it to Terry. Terry off to Dean. Dean for 3. That's going to hit off the far side of the rim and rebounded by Maddie Nolan. Nolan gives it to Rauch. Rauch looking for a lane, is now going to move to the right. Now going to move a little further before giving it to Nolan at the top of the key. Nolan going to look to drive. Nolan's going to go up, and Nolan is fouled in the act of shooting. Maddie Nolan is going to have an opportunity to shoot too.
Yet again, Michigan playing aggressively on the offensive end, getting down into the lane, and they're really benefiting off of that, as they've shot 5 free throws, or well, soon to be 7 free throws, while Oakland has not gotten to the line yet.
Nolan's first free throw is no good. Michigan now a mere 3 for 6 from the free throw line for the game. Nolan's second is good. Moves around, rattles around the rim before going down. 33-26 is the score now in favor of Michigan. Breedy moves into the half court for Oakland. Michigan lined up in a 2-3 zone. Dean to Breedy. Breedy, space on the left, gives it back out to Dean. Now Terry. Terry gets it to Dean. Dean fakes out Nolan, and she is called for a travel.
And Kim Barnes has really been impressive coming out of timeouts. First with that full court press, and now with the 2-3 zone. Really changing it up on Oakland, and they have not really been able to adjust.
And Rauch to Nolan. Maddie Nolan plays it underneath to a Kenray Johnson. Loses the ball for a second, able to recover and get it out to Verajao. Rauch now plays it into Kaiser. Kaiser's going to drive. Kaiser's going to go up. That's not going to go, but Johnson's going to come away with the offensive rebound. Rauch inside to Kaiser. Kaiser, acres of space, and that one an easier layup for the sophomore. It's 35-26.
Kenray Johnson has been very impressive with her hustle so far. It seems like every loose ball, she comes out of the pile with it.
And Kissman's fadeaway is no good. And that's going to go out of bounds on the rebound attempt. It looks like it's going to be Michigan's ball as Naz Hillman re-enters the game.
And Michigan is starting to pull away here as they've gone on a 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And they're starting to heat up a little bit, too, as they shot 4 for their last 5.
Rauch takes the inbound from Kaiser and is going to move to the right as she crosses the half-court line. Now gives it to Kaiser at the top of the key. Johnson moves across. Kaiser gives it to Rauch. Rauch to Johnson at the top of the key. Underneath to Kaiser. Kaiser, the long floater, cannot go. Hillman can't control the offensive rebound. Now Blackwell trying to push tempo for Oakland, but ultimately forced back. And Blackwell for a long 3. That's going to hit off the front of the rim straight to Maddie Nolan. Nolan is going to try and drive the ball, spins around, and gives it off to a Kenray Johnson behind her.
And partially due to Michigan playing good defense, but also partially due to them just cooling down. Oakland has not scored in the last 4.5 minutes, which has really helped Michigan to start to pull away.
Hillman to Johnson. Hillman to set the screen. Johnson's just going to pull up for 3. That's going to hit off the back of the rim, but an offensive rebound for Maddie Nolan. Nolan goes up, is fouled, and it's good.
And yet another offensive rebound for Michigan, and that's 10 of them, or no, 11, excuse me, on the game so far, which has been just invariable, been very useful because now they've shot 13 more shots than Oakland has in this game.
Emily Kaiser now goes to the bench. Haley Brown re-enters the game as Maddie Nolan's free throw is good, and it's now 38-26. Michigan starting to run away with it at the end of the first half. And Breedy going to move inside, plays it back out to Blackwell. And underneath,
Oakland still has not figured out this 3-2 zone, or 2-3 zone, excuse me.
And Blackwell at the top for 3. High arcing shot, no good, but an offensive rebound. Now the shot for Terry is good. And Oakland finally breaks the 10-0 run. And Rauch crosses the half court on the left, now moves over to the right, gives it to Johnson, to Hillman at the top. Nolan looking for the over-the-top pass, and whistle blows.
What is it?
I believe they're calling a foul on the floor against Kayla Lukenbach. It was Sydney Guard.
Not really sure what that was for.
Yeah, I don't know either. Either way, Rauch is going to take the inbound quickly underneath to Johnson. Johnson goes up, and she puts it away.
Johnson just bullied 2 Oakland defenders on that play. That was kind of mean.
Kenray Johnson's been bullying Oakland players all game with the offense on the offensive glass. And Terry for a long 3. That one's not going to go. That Hillman's just going to let that go out of bounds for Michigan ball.
And Oakland was stroking the ball well early, but now they've cooled down as of late. Now only shooting 48% from the floor.
And a good little fan interaction there. The ball, after going out of bounds, went to a little girl who gave the ball to Hillman, who then returned with a high 5. As Hillman at the top of the key is a blocking foul is called on an offensive foul away from the ball is called on a Kenray Johnson. That's not something you see every day.
Oh, yeah, it just looked like her and Breedy collided, and I guess it was enough to constitute a foul.
And Oakland makes one more substitution as Micah Cromwell re-enters the game. And now Jalisha Terry, 30 seconds left in the first half. 2 seconds separate shot and game.
Oakland will more than likely just hold for the last shot of the half.
And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen as Jalisha Terry, trying to direct traffic, now gives it to Dean. Kalijah Dean to Blackwell at the corner, and that one's going to hit off the back of the rim. And now the rebound by Hillman. Hillman gets hit in the face. And now 3.8 seconds left. Michigan is going to have an opportunity for the last shot. Actually, Hillman is going to shoot 2 free throws as the Wolverines are in the bonus.
That's about as bad of a last possession as you could asked for Oakland. Missed shot and then giving up free throws on the other end.
Hillman still looking a little bit rattled. And there's going to be a stoppage. The play is actually going to be reviewed. They're going to review for a flagrant.
Yeah, it looked like Hillman got caught. Just got caught in the face with an elbow, but we'll see if the referees think that it was a bit flagrant. But
It's hard to say. It certainly did not look intentional.
no,
Intentional is the benchmark for a flagrant 2, which would result in an automatic ejection. That is not going to happen here.
that was a quick meeting with the replay, and yes, it'll just be.
It will not be a flagrant.
It will not
2.
be a flagrant.
Or it will not be. Sorry, it will not be a flagrant at all. Clearly an accident by Autumn Kissman there, as Hillman is going to take 2 free throws. Hillman's first is no good off the front and back of the rim before falling off the front. Hillman, not the best of free throw shooters, even without taking a headshot. Hillman's second free throw is also no good, and it's going to be rebounded by Cromwell. And then the long 3 is failed to beat the buzzer, which Michigan is lucky. That may have been called a foul if that was before the buzzer.
Looked like it was either a block or a slap on the wrist.
As that will do it for the first half here as Michigan goes into the locker room after a contentious first quarter, builds a lead in the second, and will go into halftime with a 40-28 lead over the Golden Grizzlies. As 15-minute halftime intermission, we will step away for the duration of halftime. We will see you in 15 minutes for the third quarter. Once again, my name is Nick Hornberg. Alongside me, Stevie McGregor. Tune back in 15 minutes from Crisler Center. Stevie and Amir Bektis will bring you the second half here at the Crisler Center. Once again, the score going into halftime, Michigan 40, Oakland 28.
Hello. I'm Stephen McGregor, and we're back here with the second half of the Michigan, the women's basketball team against the Oakland Grizzlies. Michigan opened up a 40-28 lead going into the second half with a nice run to end the first half. I'm Stephen McGregor, and I'm here with
Amir Bektis.
And we'll be calling the second half. See, the Grizzlies inbound the ball to start the second half, as Brianna Breedy with the ball, and Lichtenbach with the jump shot. That is good, and cutting it to a 10-point game. Amy Dilk bringing the ball up the court to Johnson, and down, nice backdoor cut, and unfortunately Robbins could not hit the layup, but Hillman gets fouled going for the offensive rebound. So Michigan will get the ball out of bounds.
So not a bad start for the Grizzlies coming out of halftime, scoring on their first bucket, but definitely don't want to give up the foul right there.
You see the ball down low to Hillman, back to Dilk, and Dilk pulls up. Fortunately, can't get it to go, and the Grizzlies with the defensive rebound. You see Breedy pushing the ball up the court. And Breedy trying to set up a play, and the screen gets a switch onto Hillman. She passes it out here to Beatty. Lichtenbach driving, and unfortunately, Brown with the foul on the floor, and it looks like the Grizzlies will take the ball out of bounds. It's inbounded to Terry, and it's down low to Green, and nice steal there from Johnson. She pushes the pace to Amy Dilk, and she gets it to go.
Yeah, it looks like the Wolverines just came out a little flat coming out of halftime, similar to how they started the beginning of the game.
And very nice move there by Beatty as she pump faked at the three-point line and drove in for an easy bucket. See Amy Dilk and hands it off to Kayla Robbins. Tried to get it down low to Brown and back out to Amy Dilk. Down low to Hillman, and she gets the easy bucket.
Yeah, Hillman's having a great game, leading the team with scoring with 13 points now.
And Oakland just has not had an answer for her down low. As we see Terry with the ball, passes it off to Gungrick. And Lichtenbach with the ball, drives in, and she gets it to go. Kayla Robbins tried to slide over and draw the charge, but unfortunately could not.
The next couple minutes of this game will be super crucial to see if Oakland can get back into this game or can Michigan extend their lead.
Back out here to Amy Dilk as she works off a screen for Brown, and nice behind the back move, and she pulls up from the free throw line, and it is straight through the bottom of the net. Very nice hustle play from Johnson there, almost deflecting it.
She wanted to take out the coaches.
To see Terry with a three, and she gets it to go. Oakland continuing to stroke the ball from deep. See Johnson on the wing, down low to Hillman. Easy pass to Kayla Robbins, and she will go to the line as Gungrick picks up the foul.
Yeah, Kayla Robbins not having a bad game either, second leading scorer for the Wolverines tonight, or today actually.
Yes, and we'll see how she fares at the free throw line, as not many, as Michigan has struggled to say the least, shooting only 50% from the line.
Yeah, you definitely know what they'll be practicing this week.
Yeah, Kim Barnes will probably get on them for that one.
Yeah, the one thing Coach has been doing good is coming out of the timeouts, really setting up the early press in the beginning when Oakland got out to a quick start, and then kind of, I don't know, they just came out flat.
Yeah, and Kayla Robbins sinks the first free throw, and her second up, and it is good. So right as we say say bad things about their free throw shooting. Go 2 for 2 from the line.
Must be the halftime speech.
You see the Wolverines coming out in a full court press, and now they move to a zone. And Dean pulls up from deep, and Kissman has it down low. Oh, very nice nice play there from the Wolverines to force a turnover. You see down low to Brown. Oh,
good block.
Great rotation from Breedy there. She comes down and gets the block on what would have been a very easy layup. So Michigan has the ball out of bounds.
It's really the only way they've been able to stop anybody down low today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amy Dilk to inbound. She gets it to Brown, and she just imposes her will and cannot get it to go. But Johnson there on the offensive glass picks it up and scores an easy deuce.
Yeah, right away Oakland sends another center to come in to this game. Kind of they have they're small right now out on the court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Michigan in that zone as we see Terry pulling up for 3. She can't get it to go. Rebound by Amy Dilk, and she's looking to push the out, and she slows it down.
Looks like Oakland's game plan coming out of halftime was to kind of shoot the 3 more often.
Mm-hmm. You see Brown there, and she misses everything with that shot. So it'll be out of bounds, Oakland ball. And as we see number 3, Sydney Goard check into the game for Oakland.
Yeah, the freshman out of Illinois coming in at 5'8" to give some height for these Grizzlies.
Oh, very nice move there by Terry, or Jaleisha Terry, and Johnson on the other end, very quick. Oh, cannot get the layup to go as Oakland comes back down the court. Jaleisha Terry pushing the tempo. As we see Dean, and she gets drives down the lane and gets the easy deuce.
Yeah, this 4-3 record for the Grizzlies doesn't really resemble the type of team they have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really came to play today.
Let's see, out of not Michigan. Kissman deflects the ball out of bounds for the Grizzlies, so Michigan will have it on the out of bounds on the sideline. See Amy Dilk inbounding the ball as we see Cedor checks into the game for the Wolverines. And Cedor gets the ball immediately. So he gives it back to Amy Dilk. As we see Cedor for 3. She can't get it to go. Rebound by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, really good ball movement right there.
Mm-hmm. Got a wide open shot, just couldn't get it to go. As we see Breedy, as she runs off or plays off the screen, hands it off to Terry, and Terry gets it down low to Gouard, and she falls down but able to get it. And Kissman with the baseline jumper gets it to go, and that cuts the Michigan lead to 7. And we see Amy Dilk with the ball, passes it off to Kaiser, to Johnson on the wing. Cedor drives into the lane, and she can't get it to go, but Hillman with the rebound, but she can't get it to go either, and the Grizzlies come back down to 4.
Very uncharacteristic offensive plays here by the Wolverines past few drives.
Mm-hmm. As you see the ball down low to Kissman, some very good defense by Hillman as she forces a missed shot, and Michigan comes down with the rebound. As we see Amy Dilk pushing the tempo, and she gets it to go.
Yeah, Michigan's been pretty solid on the defensive end today, but a couple of sloppy plays on offense.
Mm-hmm. She hands off to Dean and Terry on the wing. As we see long pass out to the corner for Dean, and she gets the easy deuce.
They're going to keep it a game today, these Grizzlies. They're not going to go away easy.
Mm-hmm. The Grizzlies have been just consistently making shots. And out on the wing to Johnson, and back out to Dilk. Passes it off to Cedor. Down low to Kaiser. And she uses her post moves, and she draws a foul on Sydney Goard. And she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Oakland hasn't really had too much of an answer down low on the block today, on the offensive and defensive side.
And that will be the under 5 media timeout. As we see, Oakland's kind of getting hot as of late, making 4 of their last 5 field goals.
Yeah, right now coming out of halftime, it was I think like 11-point lead for Michigan, and right now it's cut down to 7. So that's kind of the sweet spot, especially with 3:13 left in the third quarter, keeping it under 10 specifically. I mean, right now they got it down to 7. So if they can cut it down to 5 going into the fourth quarter, you can't really ask for anything better to get back into the game.
Yeah, the Grizzlies have played tough. They just have not gone away. Michigan has jumped out to a pretty large lead, but could not really it has really not been able to put the Grizzlies away completely.
Yeah, you question how much fatigue is played into this game coming off Friday night's big win, but then again, you got to be ready to play. You had a couple of days off, so.
You see Oakland's, as this has become a theme, Oakland's coming out of the timeout early, while Michigan has been using every second available to them so far.
Yeah, the Wolverines are going to want to be careful. They already have a delay of game warning. You don't want to give up a technical foul free throw in a close, what's most likely going to be a close game.
And it looks like we got some confusion here as the dance team and cheer squad is out on the floor, but it looks like they're ready to resume action, so guess we'll wait a little longer.
Looks like we're still in just a little confusion on the media timeout. Icing the free throw. Yeah, it's the first warning right there, so dance team gets off the court.
As we see Oakland's kind of sneaking a player down on the other end of the floor. That is number 30, Alona Blackwell. As we see Kisser with her first free throw, knocks it down.
You can see a quick Hail Mary down for quick deuce.
As we see Kisser with her second free throw. That one is good too. As Verjao now checks in for the Wolverines. See Michigan running that full court press again as Birdie brings the ball up the floor.
Yeah, they're going with all their big players right now.
You see Dean driving in, and she will draw a foul on Johnson. But that will be on the floor, so it'll be Grizzlies ball out of bounds on the sideline. As we see checking in for the Wolverines, number 2. Number 2, Schmiege, or Priscilla Schmiege. Oh, actually, I stand incorrected. Dean will actually go to the line. She knocks down her first one and knocks down her second. So still a 7-point game as Amy Dilk brings the ball up the court. Passes it out on the wing to Johnson. And she gets it out to Verjao. Amy Dilk with the ball again. She drives in. Out to and Hillman with the ball at the top of the key. Passes it off to Johnson. Johnson makes a move, and there will be a foul on Blackwell as she gets a reach and foul. And checking in for the Wolverines is Brown, and checking in for the Grizzlies is number 32, Kayla Lundenbach. See, trying to go down, and Lundenbach immediately steals the ball. See Brady pushing the ball up the court. See out wide to Blackwell. She shoots for 3, and she knocks it down.
These Grizzlies really do have some range as they cut it down to 4, the smallest lead that the Wolverines have had all game.
You see Amy Dilk with the ball out on the wing. top of the key to Verjao. She passes it out to Smengi. Brown drives in. And she, in and out, but Hillman with the rebound, and she gets the easy layup.
Yeah, Naz Hillman is going to be key for the Wolverines today if they eventually win this game, is because Oakland really hasn't had an answer down low, so you want to expose that.
See Dean driving in, the little floater, can't get it to go, but rebound out to Blackwell, and the Grizzlies will have a fresh 20. See Dean out on the baseline. Gets it to Luchtenbach, and it is blocked by Verjao, and passes it out to Amy Dilk. She wants to run, and she can't get the layup to go, but Schmengi can on the offensive glass.
Great sequence of plays. Do your job on the defensive side, and then go get a bucket on the other side.
Mm-hmm. As you see the ball down low to Luchtenbach. Oh, and an errant pass there from Breedy as she throws it into the second row.
Yeah, if you want any hope of getting back into this game, you cannot have uncharacteristic turnovers that are not forced by the defensive side, but rather yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's Oakland's 16th turnover today, which has been very, very uncharacteristic.
They cut it down to 4. Now it's back. The lead's back up to 8 with 46 seconds left in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm. Lucy Brown with the ball at the top of the key, passes off to Dilk, and she gets Hillman on the little slip screen, and she gets an easy bucket. And the Michigan has kind of weathered the storm as of late, and it is now a 10-point game.
Yeah, that's Naz Hillman's 17th point of this game as she leads the scoring for both sides.
Mm-hmm. As we see Terry with the ball at the top of the key, crosses over, and she passes it off to Luchtenbach and takes the jumper, can't get it to go. And sort of a scrap for the ball on the rebound between Hillman and Sydney Goard.
That's Naz Hillman's 9th rebound of this game. As she's probably gonna be in the double figures here soon.
And they ruled it a foul on Goard, so Naz Hillman will go to the line to shoot 2, as Michigan's in the bonus now.
Let's see how the free throw has improved.
They're 4 for 4 so far this half. See if they can keep it going.
Probably have a little bet on with the coach saying, like, if we miss free throws, we're gonna be running during practice.
Hillman puts up the first free throw, and she knocks it down.
But it definitely worked if that was stated in the locker room.
Whatever the team talk was, it seems to be working. Hillman with her second. She gets it to go.
There you go.
So very, very odd. The Wolverines shot 5 for 10 in the first half, but have gone 6 for 6 in the second half. So you see the full court press is on again. The ball's out to Heston for the Grizzlies, and she can't get it to go, and there's 3 seconds left. Amy Dilk with the half-court shot, and it is no good off the backboard. So the score is 62-50 Michigan as we head to the fourth quarter.
Any thoughts going into the fourth quarter? What Oakland needs to do if they want to ultimately win this game?
Oakland needs to continue to shoot it. They've shot well from 3, shooting 43%. And they also need to limit their turnovers.
And then on the Michigan side, what do they need to do to bring this win home?
I think they need to continue to push the ball down low and continue to limit the turnovers.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Like, Oakland really hasn't had an answer for Hillman down low on the post. She has 19 points this game, 9 rebounds and 1 assist, playing 27 minutes, so leading everybody at all the stats categories. And then Oakland's highest leading scorer was 10 points with Terry, who's played 20 minutes. So if Oakland wants any chance of winning this game, it's just going to be, like you said, can't force uncharacteristic turnovers, especially on yourself. If the defense has a good play, that's fine, but just lofting the ball out of bounds is one on you. So we'll see. The Oakland has kept this lead. They've cut it down to 4, but they're staying around that 10-point mark. And with 10 minutes left to play, you got to cut it down to under 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get a bucket, do your job on defense, and the scoreboard will take care of itself.
Yeah. For Michigan, you just got to continue to go into that bread and butter, getting it down low to Hillman, and just get. They've had a lot of just wide open layups this game.
Yeah.
Which is really just, and whenever they've not made a layup, they've been on the offensive glass with now 16 offensive rebounds, which is just ludicrous.
Yeah, Michigan is just, like you said, you cannot miss those wide open layups. The layups on the pick and roll, you have to capitalize on those. And then just coming out fast with that energy. Right now, they've had the spurts of it where there's energy, but other than that, they've been flat most of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michigan's kind of been grinding it out.
Yeah, when you're ranked 24th in the country, you gotta have your A game every single time you step on the court.
Mm-hmm. See, Michigan will start the fourth quarter with the ball. As we see a five of Verjao, Roche, Johnson, Robbins, and Hillman. As we see Rush taking the ball up, and she has it on the wing. Gets a screen from Verjao, cuts to the baseline, passes it out to Verjao, gets it to Brown. She jab steps, fakes a three, passes it out to Rouch. And Johnson has it. She's going to take a deep three, and that gets nothing. And unfortunately off of Robbins and out of bounds.
So Michigan did everything correct that they were supposed to do. Use up the entire shot clock, but you have to score. You have to score. If you're going to take 30 seconds off the game clock, you have to score.
Yeah, you just got to sink the shots. As we see Brady bringing the ball up the floor. We see Michigan in the 2-3 zone again.
Yeah, they've been pretty successful with the 2-3 zone today.
Mm-hmm. And Lugdenbach passes it out to Dean on the wing. Dean cuts in, and she passes it out to Terry. She'll shoot a three, and she gets fouled by Kayla Robbins. Shot did not go, but she will go to the line to shoot three.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to foul a three-point shooter and send her to the free throw line.
Yeah,
this is Terry's first time at the free throw line. She's 4 for 6 from field goal range, so.
Mm-hmm. Terry's first free throw, she knocks it down. And yeah, that was only Oakland's third free throw of the game. This massive discrepancy is Michigan has shot 16 so far. And she knocks down her second one too. And she will get her third.
We're back down to that 10-point lead with 9:12 left in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. And she knocks the third one down, cutting it to a 9-point game. And checking in for the Wolverines, Amy Dilk, and number 2, Priscilla Schmenke. As you see, Johnson on the ball with the ball on the wing. Verjao, backdoor cut to Schmenke, and she gets the layup to go. That was a very nice pass on the top from the top of the key to a cutting Schmenke. See Dean with the ball out on the wing for the Grizzlies, passes it off to Breedy. As Dean tries to make a play, cutting in, and she turns it over, and Michigan will bring it up the court with Amy Dilk.
Nothing really you could do with that play. It was just a great defensive sequence by Michigan.
Mm-hmm. And we get a foul on Kalisha Dean away from the ball, and Michigan will take the ball out of bounds.
Might be a little early to start fouling Michigan.
Yeah, that's probably not the best strategy.
If they shoot like they did the first half, yeah, foul them every drive.
Yeah. You see Amy Dilk with the ball out on the wing, and Schmenke passes it off to Dilk. Nice defensive play by Dean as she knocks the ball away from Dilk and out of bounds. With 13 on the shot clock, Amy Dilk will inbound. Passes it off to Johnson on the wing. Down low to Hillman, and she gets the easy deuce to go.
There you go. That's the offense right there. Get the ball down to Naz Hillman as she gets her 21st point of the game.
Mm-hmm. As you see Breedy with the ball up near the logo.
Just needs one more rebound for that double-double.
Mm. I have a feeling she's going to get it. See Luktenbach down low to Gungrick, and she's a little short on the shot, and Michigan collects the rebound and Johnson will bring it up the court. And she down low to Verjao, and she gets the bucket and the foul.
And one.
And that makes it a 68-53 game, 15-point advantage. As you see, Oakland.
As expected, I was just about to say that Oakland could use a timeout right now.
Oakland calls the timeout, and Verjao will go to the line to shoot one after that timeout.
Yeah, 15-point lead here as Michigan has 68 and Oakland has 53. And we got 7:43 left. You definitely want to take a timeout, kind of get everybody back on the same page. They cut it down to 4 in the third quarter with like 2 minutes left, and now it's back up to 15. So Oakland just needs to do what they've been doing all game, is just play good defense. At this point, honestly, double Naz Hillman.
Yes, they
put two defenders on her and let Michigan score off the perimeter, because Michigan's kind of been shaky with their field goal percentage today, but down low on the post, Naz Hillman has almost been a guarantee.
Yes, they've been able to get down low with relative ease. I mean, there hasn't been much resistance from Oakland, and they've shot 1 for 10 from 3, so I mean they haven't shot it well. Yeah. But it hasn't mattered so far.
When you look at the stats for Michigan, Hillman has 21 points. The next leading scorer is Robinson with 10. So if it's not clear by now, don't let Naz shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Get the ball out of her hands.
Naz Hillman has been extremely efficient, too, shooting 9 for 12, which is just absurd.
Yeah, but Michigan's game plan for the rest of this quarter is probably going to be just take as much time off the clock as you can and then play good defense. They really have had success with the 3-2 zone. Oakland hasn't quite cracked it yet. They're doing turnovers on that. So if you're Michigan, just continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, if you're Michigan, I'm curious to see what Coach Kim Barnes will come out with out of the timeout. Because it seems like every time that the Michigan's there's been a media timeout, Michigan's come out with a different defensive look, and it's really just baffled Oakland.
We'll probably see still a full court press until it gets under 5. At the 15-point mark, Oakland's been good enough. They've cut it down a couple of times, so it's still want a full court press, and until you get to that 20-point mark, then you can go back.
So Verjao with the free throw, and she gets a friendly bounce, and she knocks it down. So as you see, Breedy taking it up the court. Passes it off on the wing to Dean. And Michigan in that 2-3 zone again. See, back up top to Breedy. Downloaded. Oh, Dean drives in and just loses the handle, and that will be out of bounds. Michigan ball.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. None of the Michigan players get a touch on the ball. It's just your own fault.
Yeah. See Amy Dilk bringing the ball up the court. And, yeah, Michigan will probably take a more methodical offense, run some plays. And she's Schmengi passing it off back to Dilk. As we see Johnson trying to get the ball down low to Verjao. Oh, very nice pass out to Schmengi. And she knocks down the 3. See, Michigan's starting to run away with it here as they lead 72-53. See, down on the wing to Terry as she tries to get something going. You see out here to Dean as she drives in. Nice pass down low to Gungrick, and she gets an easy bucket down low.
Yeah, Schminke's 5 minutes of play. She's super efficient. 7 points, 3 for 3 from the field goal, 1 for 1 on the 3-point.
As we see down low to Naz Hillman, out to Schmengi, back out to Amy Dilk on the wing. Down low to Verjao as she gets doubled, and Schmengi will shoot another 3, and it goes.
2 for 2.
And we get another timeout from Oakland as the lead is now 20 for Michigan.
That is huge. That's almost that final nail on the coffin, but with 6:15 left to play, Michigan leads by 20.
And it's it's kind of starting to feel like that last three from Schmenke might be the dagger in this game.
Yeah, this is that Michigan team that we're all so familiar with, the one that's ranked 24th, the one that is efficient on the defensive end and then can come down and hit a three to extend their lead. And do it twice back-to-back, and forcing Oakland to take a timeout is huge.
And, yeah, Michigan in the last 2 minutes and 44 seconds has gone on a 13-2 run to kind of push this game out of reach for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's huge. That 13-2 run is really huge. That's what sets the good teams apart from the elite teams. Can you knock your opponent out after they've had a couple of good drives, getting some momentum? Can you come back and do your game?
I'm kind of interested to see how Oakland will respond. Coming on the road to Michigan, nobody expected them to really win, but they've so far they put up a fight. But now that Michigan's kind of come out and thrown a haymaker, let's see how Oakland comes out of this timeout.
Yeah, right now, if you're Oakland, you can't really pay too much attention to the scoreboard. Yeah, 20 points. Characteristically, you're like, okay, it's basically over. But if you're Oakland Grizzly right now, you can't really look at the scoreboard. You take one play at a time, right? Do your job on the offensive side, get a bucket. You cannot come back empty-handed. And then on the defensive side, just no shots can go up. You have to play lockdown defense, and then you cut it down to the 15s and the 10s, and then you put Michigan on their heels.
Yeah, and it seems like Oakland has been kind of baffled by the 2-3 zone and really has not figured out. So we'll see if they have any answers coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, and I'm sure Oakland will have a good season this year. It's kind of tough to come into Ann Arbor and play the number 24 team in the country.
As we see, Brady coming up with the ball, and she passes it off to Gingrich, who passes it out to. And another sloppy play, but luckily Terry able to recover the ball, and she drives in, pulls up with a floater, and an air ball. As we see Blackwell with a three, and that's off iron, and Amy Dilk with the rebound.
Yeah, Dilk pulls in her third rebound of the game here.
As we see Hillman with the ball at the top of the key. She passes it off to Schmenke, and Schmenke uses the Hillman screen and passes it off to Dilk. Gets it to Verjao. She's thinking about shooting it, but she passes it off to Dilk, and Dilk drives with the left and gets an easy bucket, and the lead is now 22.
Yeah, credit to Oakland. They have
very nice block there from Verjao.
Good block there. What I was going to say before is just they've been able to shut down Hillman the last couple of possessions, but that's opened up the game for the other players on the Michigan side.
Yeah, that was one of their keys, but they've done a pretty nice job as of late. But Michigan's getting scoring from everywhere else on the floor now. So you see Terry with the ball up top. She passes it off to Kissman. And passes it off to Blackwell. Blackwell driving in with the floater, and that one's good. And Amy Dilk with the ball, passes it out on the wing to Johnson. And down low to Verjao, and she uses those post moves, and she gets fouled by Brianna Breedy.
Yeah, Verjao having a pretty good game as well. 15 minutes, 5 points, 1 for 1 from the free throw line tonight.
The Michigan, the players down low for Michigan have just really made their mark on this game.
Yeah, when you win the size battle, it really helps out.
Yeah, as we see Verjao, unfortunately, misses the first free throw off back iron. And she will take her second. And that one, no good, off back iron as well. And the Grizzlies with the rebound is Terry pushing it up the court. And outside to Breedy for three, and no good. As we see Rauch bringing the ball up the floor.
Michigan's still running that high-paced offense.
Passes it off to Verajao. Verajao passes it off to Roush on the wing. Oh, and a little deflection there from Oakland as Roush goes to collect the ball. And out on the wing to Johnson. She'll shoot for 3. That's no good. But Verajao with the offensive rebound. But unfortunately turns it over. And Michigan and Schmengi with the foul for Michigan. And Oakland will take the ball out of bounds. So she inbounds the ball to Jaleisha Terry. And she passes off to Dean. And Dean drives in, passes it off to Blackwell. And that's a pass off the hands of Lichtenbeck, and Roush brings it up the court, and she gets called for an offensive foul. A little bit too quick there. Would have liked to see her slow down the pace a little bit, but
yeah, we could all tell from up here that Terry was going to take the charge right there.
Yeah.
As soon as Michigan crossed the half-court line, she was ready.
Terry passing it out to Blackwell. And a deflection by Roush, and she dives for it. But very nice hustle play there from Roush, but unfortunately it'll be out of bounds for Oakland.
Yeah, you love to see those hustle plays even when you're up by 20 with 3:30 left in the game, and you have the game in your hands. Just that hustle play is great to see by these players.
And Brianna Breedy checks in for Blackwell as we see Dean driving it in, and nice active hands there from Kaiser, my bad.
Yeah, right now it's really important as both teams are kind of starting to put in their bench players. Is with 3:20 left in the game. Game's obviously out of hands, but who's going to step up and try to earn more playing time going on in the season?
And Dean drives in with the floater, and she gets it to go, rolling around the rim. And Roush will bring the ball up the court. She passes off to Kisser, my bad. And she passes it out on the wing to Nolan. And we have a foul away from the ball on number 34, Chloe Gingrich, and Michigan will take the ball out of bounds. Roush will be inbounding. Nice pass down low to Seedor, but she can't get the layup to go. And very nice play there from Roush. Active hands, able to get the steal from Dean. And Michigan retains possession. And we see Nolan with the ball and passes it off to Schmengi at the top of the key. Passes it out wide to Seedor. Tries to get it down low to Kaiser, but she can't, and Terry will bring it up the floor, and she gets the easy deuce to go. You see Roush passing it up to Seedor. Passes it back to Roush, and out to Nolan on the wing. And we see Roush with a 3. Can't get it to go, and that will be out of bounds. Oakland basketball.
Yeah, the last couple of plays, it almost seems like Michigan's playing with the mentality that they're down by 5, actually. But in fact, it's 77-61 Michigan with 2:08 left in the fourth quarter.
And we see Brady bringing the ball up the floor. She has it out on the right wing. Pass it off to Blackwell at the top of the key. Gets it down low to Cromwell and passes it back out to Breedy. And Breedy drives in, and she cannot get the left-handed floater to go. And Kaiser with the rebound and passes it out to Roush. And Kaiser with it at the top of the key. Passes it out to Seedor. And then Roush with the ball and passes it down low to Schmengi, but she can't get the jump shot to go. See Terry passing it down low to Gingrich, and she gets the easy layup to go.
Seems like Michigan's falling asleep here on the defensive side.
And Seedor with the ball out on the wing, passing it off to Schmengi. Out wide to Nolan, down low to Kaiser, and she gets the easy bucket to go, ending an 8-0 Oakland run. As we only have a minute left in the game, Michigan leads 79-63. And Blackwell with the ball out on the wing for the Grizzlies. And she drives in, and that is Nolan with the blocking foul.
So really what set this game apart today was the Wolverines coming out and starting the fourth quarter really hot. That 13-2 run is what set these Wolverines apart, basically saying, like, okay, Oakland, we enjoyed the first 3 quarters, but now it's time for us to play.
Yeah, as we see Oakland putting most of their bench in now, as we see a new face with Tina Heston, and now Blackwell with the ball at the top of the key. Good hands by Nolan. And another, seems like I got deja vu, another blocking foul by Nolan on Blackwell. So Alona Blackwell will go to the line for the Grizzlies to shoot 2. And Alona Blackwell knocks down her first free throw. She's a freshman, a 5'10 freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And she takes her second. And no good, but Oakland with the offensive rebound. Out to Heston there. And Blackwell with the ball again. Passes it off to Heston. And passes it out to Cromwell. Hands it off to Mahomes. And Mahomes a bit wild, and she gets an offensive foul with a charge drawn by Kaiser.
Yeah, you can't have this is for football, but Patrick Mahomes going wild today in today's game.
As we see the inbound to Roush, and she will just dribble out the clock, and that will do it, folks. 79-64 win for the Wolverines over Oakland.
Overall, it was a good game. You know, going to the first half, the Oakland came out to a quick start. Wolverines kind of were. It almost seemed like they weren't ready to play, and then it was a game going back and forth. Michigan consistently held that 10-point lead, extended it to 15 at times, dropped down to under 10, but really the end of the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter is what set the tone for this game, because Oakland was able to cut it down to 5, which was probably the lowest they had since the beginning of the game. And then Michigan just had that 13-2 run that sealed the deal tonight.
Yeah, it just put the game out of reach for Oakland and really proved that the Wolverines are deserving of that number 24 ranking.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch this team play. Like, obviously, Knox-Hillman had a huge game today, so there's a lot of potential with this team.
Michigan, and that will do it for us here at WCBN, folks. I've been Stephen McGregor.
I'm Amir Bektis, and that's all we have today.
We'll see you.